Aaron Schaffenberg.
And this is Lindsay Myers, and we're the editors of the Hawk's Eye Video Yearbook.
And CD-ROM. There are a lot of things that you can be involved with at Horizon, like...
Football. Basketball. Snowboarding club.
softball, soccer, cheerleading,
Drama. Track. And baseball.
And we dare you to be a part of it.
Motivation, she comes right in, she goes down on you, and I'll make you smile like the top for you. Forever what you wanna do, coming over you. Keep on smiling what we go through. Won't stop to the rhythm that defines you. And I speak to you like the chorus to the verse. Drop another line like the coda with the curse. Coming like a freak show takes the stage. You're giving the game some place to say, I want something else to get me through this semi-time kind of life. Baby, I want something else. I'm not listening when you say goodbye. The sky was gold, it was rose. I was taking tips of it to my nose, and I wish I could get back there, someplace back there, smiling in the pictures you would take. To a crystal meth, I'll lift you up until you break it. Won't stop.
Students at Horizon take their learning very seriously, due in part to the dedication of the staff.
We're checking in with our freshmen today to see how high school is different from what they thought it would be.
All I have to say about high school is bigger, a lot different classes. It's harder, more homework.
High school is different from middle school because there's a lot more people and it's a lot harder, we have more work, and it's a lot funner too.
High school is different from middle school because there's a lot more people, it's a lot harder, and there's a lot more hot guys.
High school is a lot different because there's a lot more homework and there's a lot more people and it's really big.
There's a lot more possibilities that you can do, like your electives and stuff, and the pretty girls.
Did you know, out of all District 12 high schools, Horizon High School's teachers eat lunch in the cafeteria more often than any others?
What do you think helps create the spirit of the school?
I think it's all the devotion that all the kids have.
Sports, the Hawk.
Blue Ribbon School. Because we're number one.
We think that us students create the spirit of the school by dressing up and going to the football games and doing the things for homecoming and hanging out and socializing and hanging out with your friends.
Yeah. I agree with everything she said.
The students.
Yeah, definitely the students. Especially when they dress up like lunatics, like Lindsay here. That's pride. That's what makes our school.
The awesome pep rallies. Yeah.
The awesome sound!
The teachers, of course.
The varsity football team had a much better season this year by finishing with a 5-5 record.
Senior captains led the team to a 12-5 record. They took leagues for the 8th season in a row, however they lost in regionals. The season record for the tennis team was 8-3. They not only played together as a team, but as individuals also. Individually, 6 players took all conference.
The varsity softball team put forth a good effort this season. They finished with a 3-9 record. The cross-country team had a great season, finishing 3rd at leagues and sending sophomore Paul Moth and freshman Melissa Weston to compete in state. The varsity girls volleyball team finished 2nd in league with a 6-2 record. The boys golf team had a great year, finishing 2nd in league. The team missed out on going to state by 1 stroke in a sudden death playoff. They did, however, send senior Brady Sniffen, who placed a respectable 3rd.
The gymnastics team had a successful season this year and broke their team record by 4 points at their university meet.
Even though the seniors took 1st place in the float contest, other classes and clubs spent numerous hours constructing their floats.
Baby, baby, looks like it's gonna happen. You better come inside, let me teach you how to jive it well. Oh, you gotta jump jive, then you ain't 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 away.
The Powder Puff game was filled with a lot of competition between the juniors and seniors. Although the juniors had a lot of confidence, the seniors pulled through to win 32-16.
Mama's in the backyard learning how to jive and wail. Oh, you gotta jump jive, then you ain't 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 away.
assembly was filled with all different kinds of dances and games.
Jill stayed up, she wants to learn how to jive and wail. Oh, you gotta jump, jive, bend your way, 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 you gotta jump, jive, bend your way away. You gotta jump, jive, bend your way, 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 you gotta jump, jive, bend your way away. Oh, you gotta jump, jive, bend your way, 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 you gotta jump, jive, bend your way away. You gotta jump, jive, bend your way, 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 you gotta jump, jive, bend your way away. You gotta jump, jive.
The homecoming dance, Viva Las Vegas, was held in the gym for the first time. More people attended the dance this year than any other year.
Bend your way, you gotta jump, jive, bend your way away. Oh, you gotta jump, jive, bend your way, 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 you gotta jump, jive, bend your way.
As we were returning to school, the nation was recovering from a record summer heat wave that helped fan huge fires in Florida. The heat was still on in Washington as President Clinton was subpoenaed to testify to the grand jury investigating the president's alleged affair and cover-up. Terrorists strike at U.S. embassies in Kenya and Tanzania, and the U.S. strikes back at terrorist camps in Afghanistan and Sudan. Another around-the-world balloon flight by pilot Steve Fawcett from the U.S. fell short in the ocean near Australia. Balloons were not the only thing rising as the stock market continued to set records. And finally, this year's hurricane season was one of the worst ever as Hurricane George slammed into the East Coast.
What's up with the swing dance craze?
Personally, I just think it's fun to get thrown around and stuff. So
it's something better to do instead of just just regular dancing. It's more energetic. You have fun with it instead.
Just a new exciting thing that's fun to do in your spare time, and it's just gotten hooked on everybody. It's more upbeat than regular dancing, than just like normal dancing that everybody else does.
What's swing dancing?
As you can see, swing dancing is alive and well at Horizon.
The marching band put together a great season this year and qualified for the state championship finals.
Did you know in this copy room 4,625,000 pieces of paper are used in one school year?
Here at Horizon, we like to take our learning outside of the textbooks. We don't mind getting our hands a little dirty. What do you think about the cliques at Horizon? Do you think they're good or bad, and why?
Well, I think there are both negative and positive effects to being in a clique. Like, the positives of being in a clique would be like you have a big group of friends and that you're involved in something and you feel like a sense of belonging, whereas when you're not in a clique, you feel like you're not good enough and you're an outcast and that you're, what was the word I used? Inadequate.
I think it's a bad idea. That the people that are in the groups, they generally get downgraded for being in the groups, like if another group doesn't like them, or they get targeted for certain things, like if adults don't like them or whatever, they'll sit there and they'll always watch those groups, and when they should be watching the whole others. So I don't think it's good.
The cliques at Horizon, I don't really approve of the cliques because they have expectations that you need to live up to, and if you want to meet new people, it's kind of hard because you have to be in to get in. So I don't really approve of them, but I guess that's just the way society works.
The boys basketball team had a successful season by making it all the way to semifinals in state.
The Lady Hawks were ranked number 2 in the state throughout this season. They fell short to the Cherry Creek Bruins in the state quarterfinals, however finished with a winning season.
The wrestling team put forth a great effort and many days of practice to gain ultimate control, speed, and strength throughout the season. The team finished with a 0-5 record and sent 4 competitors to state.
The girls' swim team sent 4 members to state, which was held on December 17th and December 18th at the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs.
winter assembly brought the school together for fun and games at the end of another Spirit Week.
As a sophomore, what kind of issues do you deal with?
I deal with a lot of girl problems and a lot of homework that I don't like to do and not having a car. And that's about it.
Dealing with guys. I deal with being picked on by upperclassmen.
My issues are my grades. We have to deal with homework and the stupid Horizon guys.
And not being able to get parking permits as sophomores.
Hi, I'm Kristen Stein.
I'm Sarah Pike.
And we're here at the Flashback Dance to give students a chance to dress up from past decades.
Swing isn't the only thing alive here.
Did you know that approximately 600 students a day come through the Media Center? Now, if all of those students checked out 2 books apiece, that would be... Does anyone have a calculator?
If you could go anywhere in time, forward or backwards, where would you go and why?
I'd go back to the disco times because those are the best times because they're hard. They do disco.
I don't know, probably just last week because I had a good weekend, so I'd do it over again.
I'd probably go back in time so I can meet Fred and Wilma, the Flintstones and all. They're pretty cool.
I'd like to go to prehistoric times so I could see what all the dinosaurs looked like.
Under the direction of Jay Seller, the characters from the performance The Most Happy Fella created an engrossing musical for their community and family members.
What did she write you? What did she write you? What did she write you now? Happy fella in the whole Napa Valley. In the whole Napa Valley, the most happy man. That's a me. Fine, that's a fine, that's a fine, that's a fine. Look at the most happy fella in the whole Napa Valley. Oh, Madonna, so much I'm a holler. I bet you $1 I busted my collar. Take a look at my face. What do you see? The most happy fella, the most. That's a me. Coming home, winter summer is over. Coming home, pretty flamenco don't give you pleasure to confess that you're from Big T.
I'm gonna give you one more chance. I may be leaving in a little while. How can you smile, darling? Cause smile is my style, darling.
Not all teams at Horizon are athletic. This chess team has won 3 state championships. I'm here with Philip Nomarov, 1 state champ. What has been the key element in winning 3 state championships?
Well, I guess for the team, the most important aspect was our attitude towards each other and how we helped each other go through every day in practice, and we learned to win little by little. And for me alone, my father helped me very much.
How has this year's win been different than the past years?
Well, this year was much easier because no one prepared for us, because no one thought that our strengths grew so high in such a short period of time.
So the competition has been easier this year?
Very easy.
What are your expectations for next year?
Well, I think we're going to win again.
1 week after President Clinton videotaped testimony for the grand jury, he addressed the nation.
Indeed, I did have a relationship with Miss Lewinsky that was not appropriate. In fact, it was wrong.
In 1962, John Glenn became the first American to orbit the Earth, and in November, he made history again as the oldest person in space at 77 years old. Ex-pro wrestler Jesse the Body Ventura slammed his way into the Minnesota state governor seat in the November elections. One thing is for certain, these next 4 years will be anything but dull. President Clinton sends U.S. planes and missiles to attack Baghdad in order to prevent Iraq from making weapons of mass destruction. For only the second time in U.S. history, a sitting president was impeached. The House of Representatives passed 2 of the 4 articles of impeachment against Bill Clinton, opening the doors for a Senate trial. And finally, Pope John Paul II visited St. Louis at the beginning of the year to attend a youth conference. Over 104,000 people were on hand to attend the evening mass.
After having an above-average season, the boys' baseball team lost in the second game of district. Even though the track team faced various obstacles throughout the season, they pulled together and finished 5th at leagues. The girls' tennis team had an excellent season, finishing 1st in their league and taking all conference.
The girls' golf team worked hard as a team and established worthwhile relationships. As a result, they finished 2nd place and had 5 girls pass the 65 mark.
The spring carnival held at the school had many fun-filled activities such as jello wrestling.
How do you get around?
My friend, but I don't know where he went.
My truck. My Huffy, and every now and then I take my Schwinn out to ride, you know. Doesn't top 15, but it gets me going. My car. I get around in my red Nissan truck. When I get around with him in that thing. My car. The bus. What about the bus?
My bike. I walk around.
What's your greatest fear about being seniors?
Mine would just have to be keeping my grades up, because I know I'll be slacking.
And mine would have to be probably getting my first C in high school.
I have no fears about being a senior. I'm ready to get out of high school and go on to college.
Whether or not I'll make it to state next year for track.
Spanish 5.
The greatest fear about being a senior is that I'm a senior. That I finally made it this far, and hoping that I'll get through my senior year, with flying colors.
My biggest fear about my senior year is that I won't know where I'm going to go to college or be accepted to where I want to go.
My greatest fear about being a senior is probably leaving my best friend Katie, who is a sophomore right now. And it's going to be weird without her, so that's probably my biggest fear.
Did you know that this school goes through 18,000 gallons of bottled water a year?
So guys, what was your favorite movie of this year?
Shakespeare in Love.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
A Bug's Life. I'd have to say I like Bug's Life too.
Bug's Life.
And your favorite movie is?
Waterboy. Armageddon.
Matrix. That new movie Life, Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence.
8 seconds.
Waterboy. Gonna have to go with Forrest Gump.
Did you know Horizon has 4 computer labs?
Yeah, but it's not the only place that computers are used.
Like in the library, you can look up books.
Or you can search the internet.
Or helping kids with their schedules.
Or here in the publications room to produce the newspaper and yearbook. I know of one place where there's not a computer.
No, where?
In Horizon's custodial office.
No way.
4 days will quickly steep themselves in night. 4 nights will quickly dream away the time, and then the moon.
Keyboard Lysander, we must starve our sight for lover's food tomorrow till midnight.
I will, my Hermia.
You must take Thisbe off.
What's Thisbe, a wandering knight?
No, it is the lady that Pyramus must love.
Nay, Faith, let not me play a woman. I have a beard coming.
That's all fine. You may do it in a mask, and you shall speak as small as you will.
And let me hide my face too. I'll play Thisbe. I'll speak in a monstrous little voice. It's my liberty. I will roar to make any man's heart go to hear me. I will roar to make the Duke say, let him roar again, let him roar again. Not for thy fairy kingdom. Fairies away. We shall chide downward if I longer stay. Now die!
It is therefore ordered and adjudged that the said William Jefferson Clinton be and he hereby is acquitted of the charges in the said article.
At his impeachment trial, President William Jefferson Clinton was acquitted on both accounts of impeachment, perjury and obstruction of justice. To help stabilize the situation in Eastern Europe, NATO intervenes in Kosovo as thousands of refugees flee to neighboring countries. In Littleton, Colorado, the investigation continues into one of the largest school shootings in U.S. history. 13 students and 1 teacher were killed as 2 students opened fire in Columbine High School. And finally, one of the largest tornadoes ever recorded twisted its way through Oklahoma. The tornado lasted for hours, but it only took seconds to turn lives upside down. Thanks to high-tech early warning systems, many lives were saved.
Friends made the high school experience one that will never be forgotten.
Did you know on average there's about 300 absences per day here? That's like 300 excuses. Imagine that. Okay, what's your guys' favorite song?
Corn Freak on a Leash.
Living La Vida Loca, Ricky Martin.
Okay, my favorite group, well actually my favorite singer is Master P, Ice Cream Man. Thank you very much.
My favorite band is probably either Offspring or Sugar Ray, and my favorite song is Every Morning or Space Invaders.
Boys to Men? I have no idea.
My favorite video is Corn Freak on a Leash.
The prom assembly reminded students to be safe during prom and express pride for their school at the same time. Although underclassmen attended the assembly, only upperclassmen were permitted into prom.
The prom sailed into a fascinating night for all. Students began to arrive at the Shrine Auditorium at 8 p.m. in their finest to make memories last for a lifetime.
Was a success.
There were many students that participated in the games at the Thornton Rec Center. Games included the bungee run, the Velcro wall, the throwing obstacle course, and getting married.
As seniors munched on Bennett's barbecue, slides were shown and senior favorites were revealed. Tradition, graduation was held at the CU Event Center. After the valedictorian spoke, seniors received their diplomas, signifying the end of high school.
This is a day of great excitement and pride for everyone. As we begin today's ceremony, will you please join me in giving our graduates a resounding round of applause in recognition of their graduation and accomplishments.
Indeed, J. Martin Kloch once said, "The intelligent person is one who has learned how to choose wisely and therefore has a sense of values, a purpose in life, and a sense of direction."
Our past experiences have sculpted us and enabled us to grow at Horizon and make today worth a great deal.
As we embark on our own direction, whether it be to college, trade school, or into the workforce, we each come upon our own set of gates. Beyond this set of gates awaits our ambitions and goals in life.
Set your goals and standards high. If you fail, you will fail at a higher level than if you aim low and succeed.
And I could not put down my sword when justice was my right. Make them hear you. Make them hear you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduating class of 1999.
Deidre Renee Vickers. Joshua Adam Walling.
1, 2, 3. I'm smiling, she living, she golden, she lives for me. Said she lives for motivation, oh motivation. She comes round and she goes down to me, and I make you smile like a drug for you. Do ever what you wanna do, coming over you. Keep on smiling what we go through. One stop to the rhythm that divides you, and I speak to you like the chorus to the verse. Drop another line like a coda with the curse.